Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we have a new episode and we start as always with this preview. The Galaxy 6 will be compared with Q-Star 2 and also Ultra Boost Lite called RDY because it happens to be here right now. And a very short preview with the next episode. Before everything else, this is the unboxing. Feel free to pause the video every time you need. In this shot you can see some of my sizes in other brands. For this model I had to size up half size, so these ones are in 42 or 8.5 in US. So for me they run a bit small. I didn't find anything else in the box. In this shot we can see both of them, but we start with the left foot because we want to see if the quality is consistent or not. If you care about cushioning, you should pay attention to this part. I will try to leave some ratings for every part of these sneakers, just to let you know a bit better which one I did like it and which one didn't like it as much. By the way, you can find more info about the sneakers right at the beginning of this video, the first few seconds. The midsole foam in these sneakers is called cloud foam. It's a bit opposite in reality, the sensation with them on my feet, so I wouldn't call it cloud foam, but this is how they are, I'm sure that many people will fall for that name. I did. That's why I got a pair to check them, but hopefully with this video not as many of you will get in that trap like I did. And don't get me wrong, they aren't the worst I've seen so far. I mean, Duramo RC for example, they are as firm as these ones, but those don't have enough stack, so those they have even less cushioning than these ones because they don't have stack. Another pair of sneakers that are very similar in cushioning with these ones will be Ultra Bounce, but if I would have to choose, I will choose these ones over those because these ones have little bit less padding than those and better outsoles. In this shot we can see the outsole. It's not perfect, but it's closer than others. I wish it was 100% rubber outsole, but this is how they are. They aren't the worst. I've seen a lot worse than this, so I still like them. Everyone that knows me by now knows that I don't like exposed foam. It doesn't make sense for me to be in the outsole. That is a risk factor to get injured. I don't see any point to be there, so I don't know why they are keep doing this. I mean, I know why, but I don't like it. To cut the cost and the weight. This is the madness these days. Every time to make them cheaper and cheaper, and the prices, they have to go up all the time, obviously. I remember a few years ago they were listening what the runners had to say about a pair of sneakers. These days they only listen if it's less materials involved. If they can reduce the price, that is awesome. Otherwise they don't care anymore what we are saying about the sneakers. In this shot we can see the insole. It's very basic one, nothing special. It's a bit thinner than I wish it was, but this is how they are these days. And also a bit sticky, but it's not the worst I've seen because there are few models that they have it much denser than this one, and I don't like having insoles that are firm under my feet. You can see the footbed, it's heavily perforated. Thank God it is, because otherwise it's already firm. If it wasn't, it would have been much worse. And of course the internal label. In the shot we can see the right foot. About the quality of these sneakers, I didn't find problems with the stitching or the gluing. Maybe just some extra glue in few places, but nothing crazy, so I won't stress myself with that. Here we have the both insoles. In the shot we can see the weight test. I usually prefer to have a little bit more weight and to be a bit more rugged made. These ones are good enough in that regard, so no complaints here. Because normally when you lose weight you also lose longevity from that shoe. This is the reason that I prefer to have a bit more weight and to last more. Because in the end these sneakers are entry level. I'm not expecting to be lightweight like the ones you can find in marathons, you know. The people that will buy these sneakers is for jogging or walking or running, but not at the pro level probably. So for that is more than enough, good enough this way. Doesn't have to be super lightweight. It could have more cushioning. Yeah, that would have been nicer. Even this way they are okay enough. In the shot you can see how they fit to my feet, these insoles. Remember that they are half size up and they are still fitting me correctly. In the shot we can see the sizes of the insoles and the outsoles for those of you that need this info. Here we have the size of the laces in inches and centimeters also. These laces feel rugged enough for the price that they have. The elasticity is right on point for me, so I like it this way. We can have here a better look of these sneakers without the laces. In this model we don't find the gusseted tongue, but I can't say that I was expecting to have one for the price that they have. Again, they are low-end running sneakers, so you cannot ask too much from them. The thickness of the padding in them I think is correct, nothing to complain really, and I did like it that the upper is not too thin. Here we can see the flash from my phone and they aren't too thin. They are not the most breathable I found in sneakers, but they are okay for the price again. I feel that these sneakers can be used all year round with this kind of upper that they have. The rigidity on them is right on point, and I do prefer it this way, a bit more firmer. In the shot normally I show you how much of that external midsole you can find it inside. So the internal midsole is more or less where you see my thumb. We do lose quite a bit of that midsole inside, but because they have a big stack, they still preserve some of it inside also. And here we have the water test, where I usually put some drops of water just to show you if they are water repellent or not. As you can tell, everything is absorbed in a second, so they are made as I was expecting. And finally we have the on-field shots. I know that many of you are waiting these shots, so here they are. The kind of arch that I have and the instep that I have. For some of you this is important. So my first thoughts on them, they are a bit better than RC, because these ones they have even better cushioning, and also the upper is a bit more thicker, so I do prefer it this way. Like I said before, the cushioning is not amazing, but at least they have good comfort, and I do prefer it these ones over the RC and even over the Ultra Bounce. So because I did go half size up in these sneakers, now they fit me correctly, so there's plenty of space inside, nothing to complain really. The width is correct for regular fit. By the way, in these sneakers I didn't find any reflective materials, although I wish they were having some. This is how they are. About the stability, is good enough, is better than in other sneakers because they do have wide outsoles and I do like it that. By the way, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments because I might forget something, you know. So if you are not looking for a pair of sneakers that they have very soft cushioning, you might actually like this one. Here we have a short comparison with Q-Star 2. Although they look very similar, I can promise you that Q-Star 2 they have quite a bit better cushioning than this Galaxy 6. The price difference in between them is not very big, so if you are planning to buy this Galaxy 6, try find this Q-Star 2 maybe at a discount or something, because those black are 55 and those blue are 80 euros and similar prices in US dollars. About the space in the toe box, both of them have enough space for my feet that have regular width, but I believe that the black ones have a bit more than this Q-Star 2. Like I said, in comfort, both of them are equal for me. Also keep in mind that the Q-Star 2 are in size 8 US and the Galaxy 6 are in size 8.5 US. About the outsole, of course I do prefer the one that we can find in Galaxy 6 over the one that we can find in Q-Star 2. None of them are perfect, but I do prefer the one that it has bigger percentage of rubber. The stability is about the same in both of them. And here we have another comparison. This time is Ultra Boost Lite called RDY. In cushioning it's very close, but Ultra Boost Lite has little bit more, or a bit softer, not more necessarily. And where is the difference in between them quite a bit is in the toe box. The toe box in Ultra Boost Lite is wider, quite a bit wider, more than I wish it was for my feet. About the comfort, I do prefer it the one that we can find in Galaxy 6 because they aren't that wide for my feet. So pros and cons for Galaxy 6. Well, for pros, I almost like it everything in them. I only wish they were having a bit more cushioning and the outsole would have been 100% rubber outsole. But other than that, they are very good the way they are, honestly, for the price that they have, again. In the shot we can see the outsoles. This is why I said I prefer the one from Galaxy 6, because it doesn't have that much exposed foam, and I do prefer it that way, you know, like I like to be secure under my feet. I don't want to be poked with anything that I find in my way. And here we have a preview with the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe because that is so important for me. Have a nice day and please take care of you.